It's Friday, everyone. What do we do on Fridays here at the Hint Hive? That's right, we smash the patriarchy. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Hint Hive, Amplifying Women's Voices. Season 2 is officially here, and I could not be more excited to kick off this new chapter with all of you fabulous, unstoppable women. I'm Kelly Hint, Queen Bee of this hive, and your guide, confidant, and unapologetic feminist life coach and psychotherapist, might I add, here to help you slay, thrive, and amplify your voice in this wild world. It's a new year, everyone. 2025. Can you believe it? A fresh start, a clean slate, and yes, the season of New Year's resolutions. But before we dive into the topic, let me just say thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourself and for this community. Season 1 was nothing short of amazing because of all of you. In Season 2, we're going to take it to the next level. All right, let's talk about those New Year's resolutions. You know, those infamous lists we all make, and let's be honest, usually abandoned by February. You know, lose 10 pounds, be more productive, wake up at 5 a.m. Sound familiar? Now, don't get me wrong. I love the energy of setting goals. I mean, for crying out loud, it's what I do for a living. But here's the thing. Most resolutions are steeped in shoulds and self-criticism. They're rooted in what society tells us we need to fix about ourselves. And, spoiler alert, that is not empowering. It is downright exhausting. So let's just pause and ask ourselves, who decided that January 1st is the magical day that we must become perfect? And why do so many resolutions feel like punishment in disguise? Now, let's talk about reclaiming resolutions the feminist way. Here's the badass truth. Resolutions do not have to be about shrinking, fixing, or exhausting yourself. What if, instead, they were about growing, discovering, and thriving? This year, my friends, let's reclaim the narrative. Let's make resolutions that are bold, joyful, and aligned with who we truly are. Not society's version of us, but our authentic, unapologetic selves. For example, instead of lose 10 pounds, try discover a way of moving my body that feels like joy, not punishment. Or how about this swap? Instead of be more productive, how about create a balance that honors my need for rest and play? And let's trade that wake up at 5 a.m. for something along the lines of prioritize morning rituals that make me feel grounded and powerful. See the difference? It's about adding to your life, not taking away. It's about becoming a more well-rounded person, not fitting into society's ideals and quest for perfection. So, how do we actually create resolutions that empower us and stick past January? Let me briefly break it down for you. So, the first step is to start small and specific. Forget those giant vague goals like get healthy. Try drink a glass of water every morning before my coffee. Small wins, they build momentum. And when they are measurable, small, specific, measurable, we are able to complete those goals much faster and they're easier to track. And we've got to focus on feelings, not just outcomes. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel this year? Confident? Free? Peaceful? Let those feelings guide your goals, even if they are not the specific measurable goals from the first suggestion. We need to be a little bit more open-minded about our resolutions. We need to get creative and think out of the box. We need to have a variety of resolutions. And then this one is incredibly important. If you listen to nothing else, please listen to this one. Ditch perfectionism. Resolutions are a direction, not a destination. It's okay to adjust, stumble, or even restart, because progress is the goal, not perfection. I cannot tell you how many times I say this throughout my day in my sessions with the people that I work with. Stop with the perfectionism. And I say this as somebody who is so incredibly guilty of struggling with this. So I'm not pointing at you. I'm talking about all of us who struggle with perfectionism. We simply need to stop. Progress is the goal. That's your new mantra for 2025. Progress is the goal, not perfection. And then you've got to celebrate every single step. Seriously, celebrate like a queen. Acknowledge your progress, no matter how small. You deserve to feel proud of yourself every single day. And when you set goals that are realistic, you are going to be able to feel the difference. You're going to be able to feel and see the progress. Now, let me share a couple of my own resolutions for this year. Maybe they'll inspire you. And they don't necessarily fit every format, because part of my goals are to continue to work on my perfectionism. I just simply want to see progress. And so I might not fit into the box with my resolutions. And again, I probably should stop saying resolutions, because I don't believe in resolutions. I believe in having goals, and I do this throughout the year. I don't do it on January 1st. I have constant goals that I'm working on. However, I do like to take New Year's Eve, because I'm an old lady now. I don't go out and party like I used to. So I like to stay home on New Year's Eve and reflect. I reflect on the year. And then when I wake up on January 1st, I do more reflection. I sit and I think to myself, what do I want to create for my life this year? What is it that I want 2025 to look like? And I did it again on January 2nd, this morning, as I'm recording this. So this morning I got up and I really spent a lot of time alone reflecting, because as those of you who have listened to prior podcasts know, 2024 was a rough year for me. I had some trauma that I had to deal with, and I had some family relationship challenges that I had to deal with. And so I really want to be even more intentional this year about what I want my life to look like. And for me, part of it is, I don't know if it's kind of a blend of my anxiety and reality, but I am experiencing some hesitations about what 2025 is going to look like for me and for other women. And so I really wanted to take time to be intentional and think about this. And so my first goal is all centered on me. And it is to speak kinder to myself when I screw up. Because yes, even therapists and coaches such as myself have that inner critic. I know people want to think that people who inspire others have it all together, but no, I'm human. I have some insecurities. I get frustrated when I don't do things the right way. I've admitted that I have anxiety that I work daily to manage, and I am quite successful in managing it, but it's because I've been working at this forever. Well, it seems like I've been working on it forever anyway. So I do have moments where I wake up and I feel anxiety in the pit of my stomach and I'm like, oh, for crying out loud, what now? And I get frustrated and I say things to myself like, you're a therapist. You shouldn't be experiencing this anymore. Get your crap together. But you know what? That's not a very nice thing to say to myself. Because first of all, it's minimizing the distress that I'm going through. And second, it's demanding perfection of myself. And third, it's discounting my entire humanity. I am allowed to have a bad day. I'm allowed to make mistakes. And from now on, when I do, I'm going to work really hard to be more gentle with myself when these things happen. Because I help people every day to be kinder to themselves, and I need to do the same. And then the next one, my next goal for 2025 is to spend more time in nature because it heals my soul. There's just something about nature that I connect with on such a deep level. I'm telling you, I could be going through some of the most horrific crap ever. And if you sit me on a beach, I don't even care if it's only like 60 degrees out. You put me on a beach and let me stick my toes in the sand and everything is suddenly right in the world. And so I really need to do more of that. I need to be more intentional about spending time in nature. And I would encourage all of you listening to consider this. And as somebody who lives in the state of New York, I am not a fan of being outside in the winter. Not at all. It hurts me, hurts my bones. And so for all of my New York listeners that absolutely despise this weather, I get it. I am so with you on this. However, I can even find some sort of peace if I'm bundled up and just take a second to be outside and look at how beautiful the snow is. Or just look around because I happen to have a nice landscape to look at from where I live. And so I've been practicing every morning for many, many years. I get comfy on the couch with my tea and I watch the sunrise. And that to me just kind of sets my day. Because again, it's a connection to nature. And I believe we all need that. I believe that's half the problem with this world, is that we have gotten so far away from nature and the roots of humanity, and we're just these robots using these machines and we're just on autopilot. We need to take a little bit more time. So I encourage you to think about that in your own life. And then my next goal is to advocate even louder for women's mental health, actually for women's rights overall. I plan on doing this on this podcast, in my work, and every single place that I go. As many of you know from my podcasts already, I'm a pretty assertive person. I say it like it is. However, I have held back out in public I have a business that I run and I don't want to upset people because then people get nasty and do bad things to my business. And I'm not going to go into some of the things that have happened because I'm not going to give the people who did it any kind of recognition. Anyway, so that had being an entrepreneur has created this hesitation for me to speak out at times. Well, guess what? Not in 2025. I'm all done with that because guess what? I don't need everybody to like me. I kind of gave up on that a while ago anyway. When you have your own family members that disown you, then things just kind of get a new perspective in life. So I've had this attitude for the last year, really, that I'm not going to shrink myself to make other people comfortable and this, that, and the other. However, I'm really going to embrace this overall. If I see something out in public that's not okay, I'm not going to keep quiet about it for fear of retaliation. I'm just done with that. So if you see me out and about in the community, out in the wild, just know that I'm probably going to be the biggest mouth out there if something goes down because I'm just kind of done, And then my next goal, and I'm really loving this one, is to write in my 5-minute journal every day. So I would encourage you to Google this. Google the 5-minute journal because it literally does not take hardly any time at all. It takes me less than 5 minutes in the morning and less than 5 minutes at night. It's really focused on gratitude and affirmations. And so it's just these quick little prompts. Again, Google the 5-minute journal. You can start it at any time. So my perfectionist, just because it is not January 1st and you don't have your journal, don't wait till next year. Start it on the 8th. Start it on the 15th. Start it next month. I don't care. Grab a 5-minute journal and start writing in it. Because when you start your day with gratitude, it helps set the day. So I get to watch the sunrise and I get to think about what I'm grateful for, and it shifts my mood. Because as a therapist and a coach, I do a lot of mindset work with people that I work with, and I do it on myself also. And then my next goal is to finish reading the book Good Energy by Dr. Casey Means. That book has really helped me to understand why we are so sick as a nation, eating ultra-processed foods and not getting enough sleep and not moving. These are all contributors to what Dr. Means calls bad energy. And it creates things like autoimmune conditions. And I don't mean to infer that it's our fault that we're sick, but it's kind of the fault of society, in my opinion. And shame on our government for allowing us to ingest things that are not food. All of these ultra-processed foods, they are not food, and they are making us sicker. And I fully believe that Dr. Means really has a great message out there. I saw her on a talk show and I thought she was so incredibly smart, and I bought her book, and now I'm really excited about this for the first time because, again, I'm not focusing on dieting. I'm focusing on cleaning up my nutrition. So that's a goal, my 2025 goal that I started a couple of months ago, actually, really is to clean up my nutrition because I don't want to consume ultra-processed foods anymore. And this goal came from reading this book. So definitely check it out. And then my last kind of goal that I set out to achieve this year is to move my body more in ways that I enjoy. So not pounding around on the stupid treadmill in my basement trying to lose weight. No, that's not what I'm doing anymore. I'm going to make sure that my focus remains on increasing my movement in ways that I feel so good about. Because I notice that, I sit for my job. And so I notice that when I don't get up and move between every session, because I have sessions every hour on the hour, and if I don't get up and move, I could sit in a chair for 4 hours straight, and there is nothing healthy about that. And my focus is on increasing my health, on improving my health. And I know that sounds like a really general goal, and I said to be more specific, but I need to. As somebody with lupus, I need to make sure that my focus is on improving my health. And the way I do that is to get specific about the steps that I'm going to take. So I encourage you, if any of you suffer from any kind of chronic health condition, really look into ways that you can find to feel better, even if it's just small ways. And now I would love to hear your resolutions. Either sending me a text through the podcast episode description, you can click on send a text, or heading over to the Facebook group. But either way, I want to hear your resolutions, because you never know. You may actually inspire me to add some more goals to my plate. Because again, I'm somebody who likes to continuously improve myself. So I would love to hear your resolutions. All right, and now for something new that I'm going to try beginning here in season 2. Before I close each episode, I'm going to end with a quote of the week. And this might be something that I stumble across that really resonates with the goal of this podcast, or something I seek out when I feel that we all need an extra boost of empowerment. So this week's quote is from the iconic Carol Burnett, and it seems quite appropriate for this time of year. She said, "Only I can change my life. No one else can do it for me." Yeah, that definitely fits with the New Year's resolution craze, doesn't it? Ladies, it is time to take control of your life, because no one else is going to be living it for you. Take that power back. You deserve it. And as always, if you're having a hard time doing it, please reach out to me. Maybe we need to work on these things together. All right, Hive Queens, here's your challenge for the week. Write down one resolution that feels like it's for you, not your boss, your partner, or Instagram followers, just you. And share it in our Hint Hive Facebook group, or send me a message, or text me. DM me on Instagram, however you want to reach out to me. Let's start holding each other accountable in the most empowering way possible. And also, don't forget, if this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend. Leave a review. And definitely subscribe so you don't miss a single badass moment of season 2. All right, everyone, here's to a year of owning our power, chasing joy, and amplifying our voices louder than ever. Let's go make 2025 ours. Because you know what? We deserve it. This podcast is powered by Kelly Hint Empowerment Coaching, as well as Kelly M. Hint LMHC and The Cranky Counselor. To find out more about coaching services, head over to CoachKellyHint.com. If you'd like to know more about the psychotherapy services I offer to individuals within the state of New York, you can check out KellyMHint.com. And if you'd like to learn more about aromatherapy, you can check out TheCrankyCounselor.com.